enlighten us. Why the number 7?
Usually 7 or 10.
10.
Yeah.
10 is a very.
Yeah.
If I don't get a 7, I will take it.
That's unbelievable, isn't it?
He was a specialist in signature. Okay. So he was like, if you change your signature, there's one thing that I have tried for a very long time, that is using a cell phone. I'm very bad at it. The moving.
Oh yeah. Oh, wow.
So you're supposed to put it in a moving vehicle or something, and it keeps moving like this.
What do you think the face looks like? Does it look like? Do you recognize him?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Now they'll have to grow hair. Beard goes a bit small.
Wow, I love it. Fantastic. Delighted. The Dolly Dolly. It's actually a good question. We can start off with. You know, is number 7. To me, because I'm not a complete master of understanding of cricket, unlike him, he knows every rule.
I'm just here to help him with that.
Literally, because I don't understand that much about cricket, I get more interested in the man himself and the energies and universe around the man. So maybe enlighten us. Why the number 7?
Well, a lot of people have asked me, because a lot of times they think an athlete, whenever he chooses a number, there has to be some science behind it and all of that.
Do you choose it?
So when you played, like when I played for India, they request you or they ask you, okay, what jersey number you would like.
Wow.
So I requested a 7 for a simple reason. I was born on the 7th of July. So July is the 7th month. So that becomes 7/7. I'm an 81 born. So 8 minus 1 is 7. So that's the complex part. But I said, since I'm born on the 7th of July, I would request for a 7. And fortunately, the person using it before me had just retired, so it was vacant. So it was given to me. But I was ready with my second number also, which would have been a 22. Because when I started playing football, the number that was given, it was not chosen. So we were standing in a queue, and the measurements were getting taken, and we were just getting allotted number. So those 2 years, my number was 22. So I was like, if I don't get a 7, I will take a 22.
That's unbelievable, isn't it?
It was very simple, like.
But that's crazy. 7 of the year 7 jackpot. You know? That's what it is on the machines, isn't it?
Yeah, even I was born like 43. I was born at 11:43 a.m. if I'm not wrong. So
now you're just taking it in 7 seconds. But it's a good story. So this number 7, do you see it in other elements of your life? Does it appear anywhere else in your life?
I had never thought about it, and I don't give it a lot of attention, in the sense, also it's like a spiral. Once you get into it, it's very difficult to get out of it. You start looking at everything. Oh, if the game is on the 7th, then I'll do well. If it's not on the 7th, I won't do well. So
what time is it?
Oh, so that's the reason I don't want to get into it. So the only time I thought about it was when they asked me for the jersey number. Other than that, I usually don't ask. But yes, now in the social media platform and everything, so you'll have, okay, he won it in this year, he won it in this year, this was it. It comes to a 7, so now it's a 7, so we'll win again. But it doesn't always work like that. So no, I have not paid attention when it comes to looking at 7 as part of my life, everywhere.
So you're looking at this kind of numerology stuff as well.
Well, I'm just the beginning, just trying to understand how it works.
You're studying it?
Yeah, I'm just studying it.
So, like, we meet a lot of people. So once I met somebody in flight. So he was a specialist in signature.
Oh, okay.
So he was like, if you change your signature. So
did he ask you for a few? I'm a specialist.
Science was fine, but he said, if you change your signature, I was like, okay, if I do it, how will I know where to stop?
Yeah.
Because I will start it today, and let's say tomorrow, I'll go through patches. Well, I'll do well, I won't do well. So I can't keep changing signatures. That was one. Then again, I met somebody else in a flight, and he said, number 7, you should change it to this number. And I gave him the same answer. I said, how do I know when to stop? Because let's say I change from 7 to 9, then 9 to 11, then 11 to 15. Cricketers, we are very superstitious, and I think most of the athletes are. So whatever our superstition is, one of the things is, It is supposed to take care of us. That's why we follow superstition or routine, whatever you call it. When we are doing bad, or if we go through a lean patch, the first thing that we get rid of is the superstition.
Yeah.
But a lot of people still, throughout their life, they have some superstition that they have kept. But more often than not, people keep changing their superstition also, along with forms.
I think how we sort of take it away from that level and bring it down to rationality is the T-shirt you're wearing, which says Single.ID, which we're lucky enough to have this fabulous gentleman as our brand ambassador, who I guess originally we were looking at it more from a celebrity perspective, but as you get to know this man, he's very humble and like, feet touching the ground. And you wouldn't think that, because if you've not been to India,
yeah.
there's nothing you can understand about the phenomena that is Mr. MS Dhoni. But anyway, so this number 7 is a single ID for you,
Yes.
right?
And I haven't changed it. The best thing is
and
I
you
haven't
haven't
changed it.
changed it. Yeah, you haven't changed it. And everyone knows that number 7 is this man. So it's a very powerful sort
Like
of thing.
there have been bigger athletes who have worn 7 number T-shirt, but in India
This is
they associate with me. So
what number would you be?
Well, obviously 7 or 10.
10.
Yeah.
10 is a very
Sachin Tendulkar. Then obviously MS Dhoni is the second captain, was brought as a World Cup. And that signature shot. Oh my God, it's just every fan. It's like
Everyone's breathless. They don't know how to speak.
I think being grounded helps, because I've always said that cricket is part of our life. We play cricket for, like at the top level, you may play from maybe 2-3 years till maybe 15-20 years if you start early. But again, it's a part of life. And you want to be remembered as a good human being, not as a good cricketer, because let's say if you're living for anything between 60 to 80 years, then 5 to 15 is nothing. It's only a small portion. So whether you want to be remembered as a very good cricketer, or you want to be remembered as, yeah, he was a good cricketer, but he was a very good human being. And that's what really counts, and that's what helps me, be in touch with everyone the way I want.
That's almost amazing.
Yeah. For me, it hardly matters who you are, what you do, because love, affection, relationship, it's with a human. It's not with the rank he holds or what he does. So I feel when you genuinely feel it, and when you try to embrace it and you keep moving forward, people absorb that energy. You don't have to say it on the face. And nowadays we are throughout covered with camera, in the sense there will be a camera always moving around. So we can't fake it. Either you are or you are not. The problem comes when you are not and you try to do it. So always the better thing is to keep improving slowly. Just take one step at a time, because everybody has its own character. And then you see, okay, which are the points which I want to improve, because you can't drastically change yourself, because as athletes, it may affect our game. So if I'm an aggressive character, all of a sudden I can't become a calm, cool character, because it will start affecting my game. Because everything is a package. But within it, I can figure out, okay, these are the 2 points as of now that I certainly would like to change in the next 2 months, 3 months, or whatever. So
What are they? What are the points that you want to change in the next few months?
There's one thing that I have tried for a very long time, that is using a cell phone, and I'm very bad at it.
So you're starting to use it.
I want to, and it always stops.
Are you against it? You don't really get too much tech?
No, I'm not against tech. I love games and everything. I'm even scroll around in the social media, but I'm not a person who can talk on the phone. For a simple reason, like when you're talking, even if it's
Which year?
generally right, but even I can't see the face. Even in the Zoom, it's never the same, because that eye contact is never same. Like how is it in person? Then on the screen, if you're looking, it's different.
That's what you were saying earlier.
Yeah. So when I'm talking to someone, I don't know what his reaction is. What is the feeling in the eyes? Because I can't see him. So it may be like, yeah, how are you? But you're like, you should keep.
There's like an energy in between people.
Yes, and it only happens when you're in person. You're looking into the eyes, the whole body, and everything. So then the fun of talking is there. Phone should be, I'm coming, okay, please come pick me.
So here's the thing, right? So basically, for my personal life, we've been growing a business that's getting bigger, and as it gets bigger, people start hounding me more. I mean, obviously, I can't imagine. Like, it feels like you're being picked at, especially when we're doing an event like today. Da, 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 da. How do you? Because I feel that's kind of closing in my energy and taking away from my energy, and it makes me feel horrible. I can't imagine half a country attacking you. How do you turn that into a positive so it doesn't affect you? How do you deal with that immensity of media and every bit of attention?
I think with us, the only reason we are loved so much is because of the relationship that the fans have with cricket. The expectation levels for us are set by the fans. They want us to win each and every game. We all know it's not possible, but we absorb it or we accept it because that's the reason we are so famous in India. That's the reason we get so much love and affection, because of the kind of fans we have. So if you accept it, it makes the job a lot easier. But at the same time, you have to be honest, because you need to have expectation level of your own, along with your teammates and the team, like whatever we want to achieve as a team. So we set our standards, we know the path that we need to follow, what needs to be done, and we are honest to the core when it comes to that, because we know the fans will always be there to support us. Yes, whenever we have a bad series at some point of time, there will be reactions, because
I don't necessarily mean just with the fans, right? Because obviously that's a good thing, right? Having supporters, but I mean with too much stuff, like media, cameras, stuff like that. Does that ever feel like too much?
So what I tend to do is I only take care of the controllables. So like in India with everything, I cannot stop a person from taking my video. The only thing I tell him or request him or her is, please do it from a distance. So when you're moving around, just don't come right into my face. Do it from a distance, I'm fine. I'm aware that there's a camera around. I know what is happening. But I don't like it when people take videos from behind.
Yeah.
Especially if he's all alone. If there are like 50 people around, then I know what is happening. But if there's one person, from an odd angle.
But the moment you walk out of your house in the morning, you're on camera forever. Yeah, that's it. It must be like.
Yeah, you're always in front of a camera.
Are you any different in your normal life than?
Not much different, But yes, at times you have to control. You may be irritated about something, but you just calm down about the expression and the reaction. That's the thing, because
Getting for amateur level. How to keep it happy, keep playing that, once in a while you get that big movement and you hit a six, so you get 50 or 100. So how do you, and sometimes you're out of form in amateur level, still how to come back? Because last time when I spoke to you when you were in the caravan, you said, okay, it doesn't matter whether it's village level or whatever, but whatever you're achieving, you said, it's inspired me, so there's no price. So it's like, busy life, when you go out on Saturdays and play, it makes you happy. But sometimes you're out of the order. I'm not going to go happy. So, just give us some motivation. I think that's the answer to that question you earlier asked. Why he has more lovers, and like 99% or even 100% lovers than
100%.
Yeah. Whenever we went out and asked, everybody said, okay, MS Dhoni is the the credibility, is the loyalty. So obviously that's why you went out to the survey.
I feel you need to earn it. A lot of times, the mistake that the youngsters make is they think it comes with
Cricket,
not cricket. I said it comes with the rank, it comes with the seat, it comes with the chair. No, you actually have to earn that love, respect, and everything. Because for a simple reason, you are playing cricket, they are the fans, but there's a relationship, and all of that depends on how you're conducting yourself over the period of time. And that's why I said you cannot fake yourself.
But do you think, like when I look at it, then in the message you're saying, you've said clearly that the people love you because of the cricket and the results you're getting for your team. Yeah? But you kind of differentiate. You didn't say they do it because of me. They just do it because of the game I'm playing rather than the man I am. I don't think that's the case.
No, I think it's cricket is of course the starting point. It's a spark. It's the fire. But then I feel a lot of it could be for what and how they see me. And the reason is we are covered by cameras throughout. So every time our video comes out, so let's say over a span of 10-15 years, if my first video and my last video are not very different, they know over the years, whatever ups and downs have happened, it has not changed me as a person.
Were you self-aware enough 15 years ago to know that you would be consistent in your camera viewing all the time? You didn't think that way. No?
I never thought about it. That's why I said, it comes naturally to me. I have never faked it. And, since there was a time in the middle where, all the social media platforms, getting very popular in India. So you have your managers and all, and they start saying, you should become more active on social media. You should do this. You should do that. Just looked. I'm like, no, but that's not me.
Yeah.
I don't need to do it. Just because you feel I need to be more engaged with the fans. I'm like, I'm engaged with my fans in my own possible way. And in a way, I, to some extent, proved them that I am right. Because me posting 100 different things in Instagram or whatever the platform may be, it doesn't help me become more popular. There's an abstract. The fans, sometimes they just love a cricketer. They are better cricketers. They are more performing cricketers. But for some odd reason, they pick someone and they just get glued to him or her.
But I think it's like with you, bearing in mind I'm not the cricket master or understanding it too much, but I've watched a lot of the interviews that you give, and they are some of the best some of the best responses that you could expect, because they sound very, self-aware, and this self-confidence and that self-awareness isn't a normal thing in the vast majority of humanity, let alone celebrities. That was a good question. I was just finishing a good question.
I agree with what you're saying. I think it happens over a period of time.
I was saying, do you have any advice for anyone else? As the last question on
so
that.
What I would say is, be yourself. Always look to improve as a person. And I talk more about athletes because I can relate to the athletes. So change for the good is very important, but not at the stake of losing your game. And that's why I said, we all have different characters, and all those things when comes together in a team with different individuals, the character of a team is made. So if you have the same character in every individual in the team, it will be very bland. What you want is the spices, and at the same time, you don't want to change yourself so that it affects your cricket or whatever sport you are playing. So what you want is, you want to improve as a person without it affecting your game or whatever position you hold in the company. But wherever we are in our life, there's considerable scope of improvement when it comes to us being a human. And it's always a constant process.
What a way to end. Thank you very much.
Yeah, just one last thing, which is, last time when we met, I play amateur cricket. It was like a small achievement which I did when I mentioned it to you. You appreciated and asked me to celebrate it, and I think that's really inspired me. And we keep trying. So I think that's a message I think you got, and you really didn't have to do it. And that's the kind of character, the humbleness you show, and I think that's why you have fans all over the world. And all the best for you.
Thank you. I think it's very important to play sport irrespective of what you are doing in life. It teaches you a lot. Like you said, if Saturday, Sunday you are playing, and let's say if it's only Sunday, if you lose a game, the next 6 days you'll think about it.
Exactly.
Whenever you get your own time, you'll think.
Yeah.
Next time when we go, I want to win.
How do I improve?
He got me out. I want to score runs against him. So it's a very positive way of channelizing, whether it may be disappointment, irritation, or anger. It could be any of those. To channelize it in the best possible manner, and it keeps you involved. You may find yourself, I'm not very fit, maybe. So you'll do something. Maybe you will cut on eating something. Where you say, no, next time when I want to be slightly more fit.
Yeah.
I want to do a bit more when it comes to the game. So I always felt, whether in school or throughout the 20s and 30s, or even after joining any of the office, it's very important to take some time out play some kind of a game. It not only helps you be fit, but it keeps teaching you about life.
Exactly, because after the game, when we go back to work, it feels like, okay, next week you have something to look forward. So let me finish everything this week, and then the weekend let me go and play. So
I think it's also because when we were kids, it was like that. So
Yeah.
when we were growing up, 3:30 or 4 according to summer and winter was our play time.
Yeah.
So if you lose the last day, I want to make sure that I win the next day.
Exactly.
If you keep losing, then you're formulating something of how I can win. We had two teams and would constantly play against each other.
Yeah.
So I think that competitiveness brings the best out of you, and at the same time helps you understand victory and defeat, and how your behavior should be. Either of whatever the result may be, but how you need to behave, how you need to help each other. I may score a 30, 40, 50, whatever, but what am I doing or how am I helping so that the other guy scores the run?
Thank you very much
Amazing.
for inspiring us. Thank you. Wonderful.